is melatonin is a protein concentration, I think it is, of pineal tissue. So that means in actuality, we're not just talking about the melanin itself, we're actually talking about the actual tissue. And in order to get the pineal tissue, that means you have to have bodies.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? You have to have bodies. I even suggest that the bodies when they die, as well as human bodies. But we do know that we do know that with the production of melatonin, we talk about actual human bodies. It's very key. Now there was another piece. I don't know if I dropped it or left it in Atlanta, but they got a stuff called Sun Secrets, which is basically a tanning lotion. And on that tanning lotion, they had melanin on the tanning lotion. So we're talking about all your sunscreens now, and all your tanning lotions, and all of this particular copper tone shit is actually basically melanin. It didn't say melatonin. It said straight up melanin. You see what I'm saying? Straight up melanin. So you see, this is some major stuff that we're actually dealing with here. Robert Anton Wilson's famous book from 1975, the Illuminatus trilogy, is now you can get that book at Barnes and Noble on hardback, a hardback volume of this particular book, which we tell people to get this particular book because before Bill Cook and all of this, Robert Anton Wilson was the person that dealt with a greater science of the Illuminati because he was tapped into the OTO. You see what I'm saying? He was tapped into the OTO, which is Crowley's group. As a matter of fact, one of the head people in the OTO at a particular time after Crowley's death was Kenneth Grant. But what happened is the Kenneth Grant students went and actually literally got mad at him and rebelled against him. So they sent out a couple of thousand cards making a couple of thousand or a couple of hundred members head of the OTO, which automatically reduced him down. And as a result, one of the people that got one of those cards was also Robert Anton Wilson One of his books is The Mask of the Illuminati, which he also mentions. He also mentions Pascal Beverly Randolph, P.B. Randolph, in there. That we dedicated the last lecture to, as well. One of the lectures also. How do you pronounce this? I want to get the right pronunciation here. How do you pronounce this? Schrodinger's Cat. I want to get the right thing. Schrodinger's Cat trilogy by Robert Anton Wilson, which is also dealing with the universe next door.
Yeah, we have lung problems.
With the universe next door.
Lung problems.
The universe next door, as well as this other book, which is his newer book that just came out, is called the Conspiracies, Cults, and Cover-Up. So the name of this book is Everything is Under Control, which is Conspiracies, Cults, and Cover-Up. Now I'm going to read you something right here, right quick. First, I'm going to read you on page 318 in the book. On page 318 in the book, I want to read you something. In here, he has the whole history of Noble Drew Ali, which is, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple, which is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of North America, which are your Moors, that's been here for years. And here, he deals with Noble Drew Ali, and he goes on and said that Noble Drew Ali was born Timothy Drew probably in 1886. Probably tell them if they talk, it distracts me straight up. In 1886 with the Cherokee Indians, and they go on to say he started the whole Moorish Science Temple and all the stuff that he did. I'm quite sure most of you are familiar with Noble Drew Ali. Now, the key is that Noble Drew Ali said that was basically born among the Cherokee Indians. Now, he goes on to say, and we need to get this, and so for you internet surfers, you need to try to tap into this particular thing if you try to hit it at all. You need to try to tap into this. And it was like, recently, in 14 times, it says, examine a strange case of something called the Melanginos. Now, Melanginos is this particular group of people, is a group known with racial stock in the southern states, have been the subject of controversies for centuries. Their European features and their dark skin. The local Indians never regarded them as white, and said that they came before white people. You see, the Fortune Times finds it most probable theory that the Melanginos, Melungeons, are a mixed Moorish, Turkish, and Portuguese ancestry. Perhaps they were also a gene pool of Noble Jew Ali and the family lure, and sometimes and family lure gave him some of these ideas. So basically, this particular article that came out in Fortune Times, I think it came out in January of this year, is bearing witness to what the Moors were saying the whole time, that there's a group of people over here that got here before the fucking damn white people. But on the other hand, the Native Americans say these people were here long before. Whatever. You see what I'm saying? And so this particular article, but this is the other part. He also mentions a guy in here by the name of Bob Quinn. Now this is on page 418, 419 in the book, Robert Anton Wilson, which is an excellent book, because I want to give you which is an excellent book, because this book says before the X-Files, Alternative Conspiracy, there was Robert Anton Wilson, the legendary Illuminati trilogy. And basically it goes on to deal with a lot of things deep into the occult world, which Bill Cooper and Ralph Epperson and all these people writing on the Illuminati didn't have access to. This particular person does, because he is a part of the OTO. You see, now look at this. In this particular part here on page 354, it goes in and says, Bob Quinn has presented. Now Bob Quinn is another person they say look up. Before I get into this, I mentioned, see, a lot of things was coming to pass. We went to go see a movie back in 1995, a movie called The Secrets of Roe and Ish. Did you ever read that? And they were talking about these Irish people, and they were all hurt because the British had came in and stopped them from speaking their own native language. But they go in to say that these particular people, a certain group of people in Ireland, in actuality, they said had real dark complexion, they call them darkies, was had by a seal. They said if you can get this particular seal skin off of this particular seal, it's supposed to be, they put it in a fairy tale type shit. They said that the seal comes up and takes off his clothes to become this white woman. If you can get her skin while she changes, you can keep her. So that one guy got the skin to this seal, and she married the guy or whatever, and he had all these children. The space basically populated Ireland. And then one day she found the skin in top of her seal skin in top of the attic or whatever, and she got a seal skin and returned back to her wherever she came from, the ocean. Anyway, they were talking about this dark, and immediately I said this is a mythical thing to cover up the truth of Ireland. But you can get it documented in The Secrets of Roe and Ish. Also in the movie The Commitments, the guy said, well, the Irish are known as the black people of Europe. Now it's interesting here because it says Bob Quinn has presented his ideas in a 3 television program on Irish TV and a book. See below, I'll find out what the book is in a minute. He holds that Ireland has a strong cultural genetic link with North Africa, going back to the dawn of civilization. And it is this view Atlantis was the continent of the Middle Atlantic. Well, whatever the case be, we know it's one landmass, but we know. But it says this culture extended over the areas known as Morocco. And it says, and it goes and it says, the Gaelic-speaking Atlantic coast, Spain, Breton, France, Ireland, and especially West Ireland. In some of the modern Ireland and Celtic bedrock overlaid with the English language, and the genes of original Celtic bedrock was overlaid with Moorish foundation. As you know, the Moors are black. And it says some evidence is seen quite impressive. Now, first of all, if you go to all these metaphysical bookstores, they don't have any type of metaphysics. Basically, when you trace it back, it comes from Eastern origin. So what the white man is saying, to make himself a valid component to have his own godhead, he's saying he got all this stuff on the Celtic now. Green magic, Celtic magic. And then he said in the Celtic they led to the Grail mysteries. So you know your Merlin and all, and I've told you time and time again that the Grail mysteries was set up by the Moors. What this guy is saying, Bob Quinn, is bearing witness to what I've been saying the last 3, 4, 5 years. And did a tape called Moorish History and Necronomicon down in Atlanta, that the whole Celtic thing is nothing but Moorish symbology. So Merlin, King Arthur, and all of that shit, because I'm going to go into in a few minutes, it's Moorish science.